Hey guys, Mark Fresh, Protect Dog Training, and Jezzie, who I just got done feeding. I've been feeding 3 times a day now, a nice bowl of food each time, and trying to make sure that her milk production comes up, right? But I wanted to take a chance. I did my ENS this morning and I cut my head off, so I'm hoping that this stops that from happening. If she doesn't move too much and knock my camera off, I've got it sitting on a ladder over here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the ENS, early neurological stimulation, and what I see that correlates to training and to the whole wiring of the dog overall. We're trying to kickstart their neurological, their whole wiring in regards to their nervous system and everything else, and it helps with cognition, heart rate, diseases, all of that. It helps in that regards. That's with the animal for the rest of their life once we do this. But I'm finding out some other little things that really correlate to the whole wiring of the dog overall with the babies. And it gets back to pressure on and pressure off, right? When we're doing this with a very young baby, they're going through stress. And all of a sudden the head's down, that blood's rushing to the head, positions they're not familiar with that make them feel a little uneasy. But each one of them are done again and again over a 13-day period, or 3 to 16 days, which is 13 days total. And then when we're doing that, we are putting stress on the dog, and then we're moving to the next position, and then the next position. Each one's got a time level of 5 seconds, 3 to 5, which is very similar to the same thing. Pressure on, pressure off, right? Because when you do it, you're relieving that pressure from that position, and where the blood's going and everything else in that position, head down, whatever it may be, and then you switch the position to the opposite, right? So it takes away the stressor that you've been putting the dog, hanging them upside down for the whole time, and then boom, the pressure goes away and they get put in another position, right? So it's easy for me to see and understand timestamp. Pressure on, pressure off, right? And in a very, very young age, you're kickstarting the whole process of their neurological and their wiring within their body, but at the same time, you're taking advantage of natural instinctive things that happen in a dog. Dealing with a stressor, and then it goes away. Pressure on, and then pressure off. See what I'm saying? And so that pressure is what it's all about. That neurological pressure of a different position at such a young age like this is what we're doing. And we're setting up pattern, because the same thing happens again and again and again within the time span. Every 5 seconds. See it? Right? And now the dog is starting to learn that this is going to go away with time stamp that's consistent. Dogs really can key in on time, whether you realize it or not. Now these guys are so young, their brains are just getting everything's just getting kick-started. But it's a great thing to really understand it from the perspective that I do, because I deal with this all the time in training overall, right? Teaching a dog to handle pressure, to handle that sort of thing. That's why I totally advocate for aversives and for pressure when I do my training. It's got to be mixed in. If you don't mix it in, you end up with a couch potato, that a dog that can't take the pressure and the stress mentally or physically, okay? And that being the case, the dog is going to be a little weaker in life overall, right? Remember what I'm building for. Or any trainer that's a working dog trainer, what are we trying to do? Create strength within the animal and stability, which means we don't need a dog that's out to lunch and vicious behind the fence. We want a dog that's clear-headed. We hear that talked about all the time too, clear-headed, right? And their ability to have pressure that's put on them go up is, let's say it's defensive pressure. You start to put a little bit of defense on the dog, and that dog has to put up with that. Remember, a dog does not live in defense, okay? They have to be taught to accept that. And that is pressure on and pressure off. Where they live is in prey. Prey and play is the whole wiring of a dog comes back to them hunting for their kill and bringing it down, and that whole concept of prey. Dogs of this stature live in a prey world, right? Their whole world is all about prey, right? All right, I'll let you guys go. Hopefully my head didn't cut off with her moving the camera and it sliding backwards. You're going to find out right now. Have a good day, guys. Mark Fresh, Protect Dog Training, signing off.